let me just start. I want to go around the horn. 1 to 10, with 10 being a brilliant PR move and 1 being what were you thinking, moron. Hunter Biden showing up unannounced yesterday at that House oversight hearing where they were going to move forward on a contempt of Congress charge. Patrice, I'll start with you. 1 to 10, PR-wise only. Good stunt, 10, or what were you thinking, a 1?
2. The only reason I gave him a 2 is because, he did change the media narrative for a minute, but I see he opened up a lot of can of worms that he will not want to eat when the time comes.
Liz Wheeler, give me a number. I feel like John McLaughlin.
3. And the only reason that I'm giving an extra point compared to Patrice is because the mainstream media, he can count on them to spin this in his favor, no matter how stupid he is. But the whole thing was a spectacle. I mean, I think we all enjoyed watching it, right? But why would you go to a hearing when you're not actually willing to testify? Like, I can totally understand if he wanted to come in there and testify and just be like savage and try to rip the Republicans apart and make his points. Like, we don't think his points are good, but I could understand someone under national scrutiny wanting to do that. But why would you just go? Because then you're just bringing attention to the points Republicans are making. Pretty stupid, I think.
Chris Stigal.
You know, I will have to disagree with the ladies a little bit, only because I spoke with a Freedom Caucus member this morning named Matt Rosendale, who told me he
Name dropper. Name dropper.
He told me
well, you know who I was talking to earlier? Larry O'Connor from O'Connor and Company.
I'm trying to impress people. I'm not going to drop Larry's name, but at any rate.
Good call. Patrice is feeling that.
Rosendale thinks the Republicans got bested. He thinks Hunter Biden had a good day doing that.
Okay, let me just play the clip for. Okay, hold on. Let me play the clip for everyone real quick. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene and kind of going after him a little, and then I want to play the Nancy Mace clip right after that. So just pause because I want people to see these back to back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently, you're afraid of my words.
Whoa! Here goes. Oh.
I'd like to reclaim my time, Mr. Chairman.
Kind of burst their bubble. Wow, that's too bad.
I think it's clear and obvious for everyone watching this hearing today that Hunter Biden is terrified of strong conservative Republican women because he can't even face my words as I was about to speak to him. What a coward.
But Hunter Biden, you were too afraid to show up for a deposition. And you still can't today. I believe that Hunter Biden should be held completely in contempt. I think he should be hauled off to jail right now. Because it wasn't long ago, too, my friends on the other side of the aisle, that you also believed in the power of a congressional subpoena. Not long ago at all. You believed in holding those who refuse to comply with a congressional subpoena accountable.
Okay, Chris. I want to hear a number from you. I heard your explanation. Give me a number.
Look, if it were me, I mean, I do agree with the ladies.
Oh, my God. Give me a number.
All right. I'm going to say 5. I'll say 5.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do my John McLaughlin. The correct answer, 7. 7, he says. Whoa. And I'll tell you why. Because I think I'm with Liz Wheeler's explanation. I don't want to have Liz Wheeler as my professor ever. It's pretty clear that her and Patrice don't grade on a curve, which I spent most of my years on, that curve. It was always like, Sean, your work is horrible, but you showed up for class all the time and commented, we're going to give you a 70. So here's why I think that. I talked to a couple people last night who were like, yeah, Hunter sat there and his attorney said that why wouldn't he have? They should have called his bluff. And I want to break this down a little bit. But for the average attorney, non-attorney, the average viewer, and this is what Liz was saying about the mainstream media coming to his defense. A lot of people that I talked to yesterday that aren't political people, that are even right-leaning but don't really, said, yeah, why didn't they call his bluff? Wow, they looked dumb, right? And you saw those clips. Let's start unpacking this for a second. Here's, and again, this is why I love having the show, but also why I get that people don't get it because of the media. Liz was right. I mean, the mainstream media played this up. The reason that they want him behind closed doors for a deposition is the people behind the closed doors are the staff lawyers, and depositions happen with lawyers who can literally do it by the book. Those people, you heard Nancy Mason and Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're not lawyers. When I sat for Mueller, it was tons of preparation by my team and their team to sit down and go through this in a methodical, legal way. And Liz Wheeler, you're right. This is the media. They knew what they were doing, which is to get to a win in the court of public opinion, not in the halls of Congress. Liz?
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, of course. My question would be, how many people watch the mainstream media, right? So the mainstream media is going to give him a positive treatment. They're going to act like Joe Biden's just showing unconditional love to his child son, which is how they paint this 50-year-old crack addict. But how many people are influenced at this point by CNN, by MSNBC, by these leftist commentators who are trying to make Hunter Biden out to be some sort of victim? We saw actually how many people aren't influenced by that in the lead up to the 2020 election when and this was what we found out after the election, had the New York Post story about Hunter Biden's laptop not been censored, it would have influenced enough Democrats in their vote for Joe Biden that it may have changed the outcome of the election, which tells me that these Democrats, or even maybe center right-leaning center people, aren't going to be listening to the mainstream media about Hunter Biden anymore because they've been duped once, and you know what they say: once burned, twice shy.
I get that, but Patrice, the thing is, and just bear with me for a second, I don't think the Republican side between Nancy Mace and Marjorie Taylor Greene did us any favors. Right? It was, are you saying that women can't talk and all this stuff? Hunter Biden didn't say anything. Like, he literally got up and walked out. I felt like if our side had said, yeah, we'll sit right now, let's have the lawyers take you. I mean, we could have turned the tables on him. And I felt like it was a lot. Yes, Liz is right. Do less people watch the mainstream media and get influenced? 100%. But the people that I talked to yesterday after the stunt are not stupid, right? And they were like, wow, did the Republicans? And I was like, no, they couldn't have. They weren't ready. You can't just have a deposition like, hey, you ready? Let's go. I mean, I prepped for this show. You prep for what everyone who's a professional takes a moment to get their stuff together before an interview, a phone call, a meeting. You don't just get to walk in and go, let's go, deposition time. And Patrice, I think our side didn't do us any favors by making us look like, you know, Hunter Biden, you didn't want to sit in front of a strong woman. It's like, no, dude, he just showed you up. You should have said, yep, let's go.
I kind of agree with that. While I think the language, like, you know, saying he doesn't have balls and all of that, crass, and it seemed obviously Republicans were caught flat-footed yesterday, and that was the intention of Hunter and his lawyers. But in my opinion, it actually still doesn't play too well to Hunter. He comes across as the poster boy for the bad boy, the entitled bad boy whose daddy will always come to his rescue, and he can thumb the nose of every type of law enforcement or accountability there is. And we all grew up with that person, or there's somebody in your community, you know who that kind of guy is. And that's how Hunter Biden, I think, came across. The fact that today now, he's in California facing charges. Whichever state he is facing serious federal charges right now. You juxtapose where he is today with where he was yesterday, and he still just comes across as, man, he is so asinine, and he is so, I think Representative Macy used the word entitled. I wouldn't say white entitlement, but entitled. And I think that doesn't bode well for him, because time and time again, he shows that he is willing to use his access to his father to do whatever he wants with no consequences. That said, I wish Republicans were able to take advantage of the moment and turn the tables. And as soon as he stood up, the cameras left, and we missed Marjorie Taylor Greene's fantastic comments after that, which is, this is why he needs to be held accountable. And she did a great job of laying out those arguments. And unfortunately, the cameras were gone by that point.